And we're live. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I'm your host, Robert Michaels. Glad you're here. We've got a great show tonight. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about tonight because it's open topic night. Yay! Pretty glad that you guys could make it. I know that there's a big group of people out flying right now that is happening. The bad apples flying and pretty cool stuff. We're going to do some giveaway stuff on the show tonight. You're not going to want to miss that. We're also going to talk about all things flying. We're going to take your questions and comments. If you're in the chat, please ask away something you want to bring up, something you want to talk about. We have a main. We have some things that we are already geared up to talk about tonight. Some pressing topics and news. Don't always like to bring bad news, but there was an accident that happened just a couple days ago. One of our own, one of the guys that's a part of the show, had an accident. James Sutherland. He had an accident. We're going to talk a little bit about that. He's doing okay. I have great news about that. He is out of the hospital. He did break a femur, but he is out of the hospital and he's doing much better. They just let him go just a little while ago. So I'm glad for that. And yeah, he's doing much better. But we'll talk about what happened with that. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about another accident that happened. Guy on a trike. You probably saw the video on Tucker's channel. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I want to mention our sponsors. One of those sponsors is PPG Smoke. PPG Smoke has a bunch of really cool stuff. Today I got a text message from Ryan Roberts, who showed me the new design that's coming out for the Chase Cam. Super cool. Actually, I can probably just give you a little glimpse of what that is. I don't know if I don't think he'll mind that much. I'll just share a quick little glance. It's still in editing. Whatever they CAD design.
You've shown too much. You've shown too much.
Shown too much. Yep, you guys got that. It's too late. The design is stolen. But anyways, that's their website, ppgsmoke.com. Go check that out. ppgsmoke.com. They've got all kinds of great stuff for flying, for the flying community. Also, paramotorprops.com, representing them tonight. Go check out their website, paramotorprops.com. If you blow up a prop, you can get a great deal and quickly get a new prop from them. I think mine took just a couple days to get. It was amazing. Also, American Allied Drains and Plumbing. They are a local San Diego plumbing company, and they're a sponsor of the show. If you want to support your local plumbing company in San Diego, they will support you. If you mention paraglidingtalk.com, they'll give you a 10% discount on your services. Call them at 844-777-9055, and they will take care of all your plumbing needs. Right on. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of talk about was this accident that was on Tucker's channel, and I can't screen share it because they will copyright the video and take it down or give me some kind of a penalty or whatever, demonetize or whatever they do. But there's no doubt in my mind that most of you, if not every single one of you, have probably already saw the video. And in that video, there's numbers of things that are going on. So they say that the guy, this was his fifth flight. He had only flown 4 times before this. He is on a trike. There's a situation. He's on radio. He's got an instructor. The instructor's filming, or someone is filming. I'm not sure if it was the instructor, but they're standing there waiting for this opportunity. He hits the throttle. You see the wing come up, and seems like everything's fine. He tells him, "Okay, go to full power. Give it everything it's got." He launches into the air, and he starts into kind of a little bit of a pendulum. And before you know it, you hear the motor ramp up even further. And now he's really under pressure, and the wing is doing this pendulum thing, and it really powers up. He's doing basically full on like expert level wing overs where you're going all the way over, and then he ends up losing a ton of altitude, rips through some power lines, which looked to me like not your average telephone pole, but rather high power lines, and rips through. The glider goes into pieces, and you see him disappear into the back of the buildings. He was pretty broken up. He's an older gentleman, from what I understand, and chances for him to fly again are really slim. I don't know that he would, even if he could, but really beat up. So in the video, and if you just go watch it on Tucker's channel, he does a great breakdown and talks about this, that, and the other thing, everything that he could pull from that video. But there was a couple things that kind of caught my attention afterwards. The first thing that I thought was, well, this guy's a new student, and the instructor didn't ever taught him about the pendulum effect. And it got me thinking, well, maybe we need to have a discussion about pendulum and what that means, and how that can be a detriment to your flying. Now, with the right inputs, you can fix a pendulum. And what does that mean tonight? So, and I'm not going to beat on, most of you guys already know about this, but it's worth talking about for just a second. If you're the glider, if you're under the glider, and you pull on this brake, it's going to cause you to turn this way, but it throws your body weight up this way. And if you pull on this brake, now it's going to do the same thing. And if you're ever flying around, I want to encourage you to try this. Maybe you're just a flat and level guy, and you don't care. You're new. You're just, hey, I'm just flat and level when it's smooth and buttery, and I go in the mornings, and that's all. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to be doing wing overs, or you need to do some rapid descent techniques, maybe you're flying and one of your buddies has an engine out, and you got to get down quickly, or whatever it is, there's going to come certain situations where you're going to need to get down to the ground fast. So one of the descent techniques that I would say is the most common is a wing over. Now, the wing over may be the most dangerous. I don't want to call it a maneuver, but I guess it is a maneuver. It is, in my opinion, the most dangerous of everything that we're doing, because it mixes a little bit of acro. It mixes a little bit of extreme G's. You're going to feel, for just a second, you're going to feel some pretty heavy G's. Probably not as much as you would on a face down spiral, but you're going to G up a little bit. And the pendulum effect can be, and this is what I want you to try, only doing weight shift. Try to get yourself going into wing overs, and you'll feel it. Your wing at first will very lightly start to get some momentum. Now, if you've ever, I don't know if you remember when you were kids, and the big thing when I was a kid was swing sets, right? That's how old I am. Swing sets were invented when I was young, pretty cool stuff. Well, I don't know if you'd ever just burned a bunch of time sitting in the park, but I did. And I would try to start swinging from a total dead stop without touching the ground. Anyone ever try to do that? It takes it's a challenge. Like, you got to really think about what you're doing. You're like, okay, I'm going to lean forward, I'm going to lean back. And you're pulling on the chains, and you're trying to make yourself have some momentum. So same situation with the pendulum effect on a glider. When you go to start it without any brake inputs, it takes a little bit. So weight shift this way, weight shift that way. And really, you should try this 1,000 times and work on feeling just the weight shift pendulum into wing overs. And if you have the right glider and the right setup, I know my paraglider, I have a D2 Delta 2, which is a free flight wing, but I'll fly with that usually when I go motoring. But I have my Parajet Maverick, and the Parajet has some really good weight shift abilities. Now, it doesn't take me more than about 4 or 5 weight shift introducing energy to one side of the wing or the other for it to get into a wing over. Now, if you didn't do anything other than throw your weight back and forth, and let's compound that energy by saying, I'm going to put full throttle, so there's some torque involved, and now I'm just going to throw my weight this way and then throw my weight that way. You can really get some big wing overs, and that's what happened to this guy in the video. The reason why later on they found that he had went unconscious, and he was on full throttle, his hand just locked up, and he went into this event. So the first thing that we looked at and we thought, oh my gosh, this guy is he's just a complete rookie and is giving the opposite inputs. And at first you're thinking, oh my gosh, what instructor would let someone go up and not know about this thing? So that was the first instincts. And then later on you find out that he had a medical event, and that's why went full throttle, went unconscious, and his dead weight going back and forth. By the way, he survived. I don't want to, I said dead weight. I didn't mean to make it sound like he passed away or something. He is fine, or he's alive. He's going to recover. It's probably going to take months and months. But when you are most gliders, especially A gliders, are designed in such a way that if there was no throttle and no weight shift happening either direction, that glider is going to pop out and it's going to eventually fix itself. Just like if you stopped doing anything on the swing set, eventually you're going to come to and you're going to be centered at the bottom. Same thing. That's what our wings are designed for. Russman told me one time right after my Cascade event that I had over Palomar Mountain. He said, you know how you stop a cascading pilot? And I was like, no, how? He goes, you shoot the pilot. And what he meant by that is that if I would just have stopped and said, okay, I'm putting my hands up, stop doing anything. Had I done that, it would have fixed itself, and probably quicker than me inducing any inputs. Okay, so the idea that we can cause ourselves to go or induce a cascade event, that is real. That can happen. And this is why it's so important to consider taking some training, some in the air, especially over water, do some training.
Builds energy too, you know?
Yeah. Work on your, and that's the main thing that Russman was, after that Cascade event, was driving home, is it's energy management. Once I was all wound up and face down spiral, I mean, I was completely feeling the full G-force that you can feel on a paraglider, and it was pretty intense. I'm sure there's some mathematics that you could do and figure out exactly what is happening in a face down spiral. But from start to finish, I lost 1,000 feet in 1 minute. So I'm falling at 1,000 feet per minute and fixing and falling and spiraling and fixing and falling and glider balling up and coming back open. All of that, 1,000 feet, 1 minute. And it was almost exactly 1 minute. The opposite inputs felt like they were the right thing to do to me at that point in time, because I didn't understand energy management. Without going into too many details and not playing, I could play my video, but I didn't have that set up tonight. But my focus was to keep the wing open, okay? And I kept watching wing tips going away, different things happening. And so I'm trying to keep pressure in them. Also, simultaneously, what I was feeling in that moment was that my glider now was, my handles weighed like 80 pounds each. Like I was trying to pull something so hard until it would just go weightless, and then my hands would come all the way down, and now my glider's doing all kinds of weird stuff. There's a much different, thank you, Gringo. There's um, a much different glider that is a energy filled glider, where your glider is completely loaded and completely ready to just rock and roll. These gliders, and if there an acro guy was going to do infinite tumble, he would have wound himself up um, to that face down spiral moment, and then he would just pull one brake and begin to go into the infinite tumble. So this could have turned into something really not pleasing. Um, and you saw that there's a moment in time where this glider actually just completely turns into a little ball, and I'm facing the wrong direction. Everything, I mean, it was everything about it was not good. Uh, but the energy management aspect of this. So had I just figured out that I could bleed off some of the energy and work out that energy rather than try to manage the glider up. So right there, I'm completely full G force is pulling on me, and I'm thinking, wow, what the heck just happened? Um, I'm seeing the wingtips collapse. I'm seeing like a um, my gliders taking different shapes. Weird things were happening. I'd never experienced this, and the fact that my wing is on the horizon. I had never had my wing out in front of me on the horizon. That was insane to me. And so I had never practiced any energy management at this point. I had never allowed myself to be G'd up more than just a little bit. And managing the wing under extreme loads is probably something that you'll never actually have to go through. But if you do, um, you got to make the right inputs. So I was making the wrong inputs, and I'll tell you what happened. First, went into this face down spiral. I went this way. Then I came out. I had fixed it just enough, and then I fell into another face down spiral and going the other direction. And that was the perfect snapshot of showing that I was putting the exact opposite inputs that I should have been putting in. You wouldn't think when you're trying to bleed off energy that you're going to use the inside brake to manage that energy, right? You wouldn't think that. That doesn't seem like the right answer. But in this particular case, it is. And I'll tell you why. If you've ever done, it's a SAT, right? A SAT starts off, you're flying flat, flat and level, and then you slowly apply your brake until your wing comes out in front of you. Once your wing is out in front of you and you're to the place where it's about to go into face down spiral, you pull your brake the rest of the way through, and now you bring your wing all the way sideways, and now you're whipping around backwards. And that's a SAT, right? But when you want to come out of the SAT, so I'm pulling this brake. When you want to come out of the SAT, you let go of this brake. Now you go back into the flat. Now you're back to the full G, and I'm going to use this inside brake to manage the energy so that I'm not just going to flip into whatever. Now, if you're doing acro, I'm not talking to you tonight. I'm talking because you might turn that into a maneuver, Misty, turn it into a helicopter, and or turn that, once it's flat, turn that into an infinite and do what you're going to do. But I'm just talking about energy management, taking care of business. So anyways, that's how that energy management should be something that is on your bucket list if you're going to be flying, especially if you're going to be flying in anything that is turbulent. If you're flying midday flying, you're going to, every once in a while, you're going to take a whack. And how you handle that it like that caught me completely off guard. I had flown, probably had about 30 hours in the air, maybe 50 hours. I don't know. I have to go back and look, but I had enough to know that I did something wrong. So when you watch that video, you go to the end and you hear me talking like, well, I know what I need to do. I need to take an SIV and learn how to do this or that. So fast forward, I did go do an SIV, but I also did quite a bit of energy management at Torrey Pines on some days where it was a little bit windy. Got some good days at Little Black where I was able to get up, and when I wanted to get down, I would just slowly do some weight shift and then add a little break while I was doing weight shift wing overs and get comfortable knowing um, how the wing responds. Actually, just on Monday, I made a mistake, and it's the first time that I've put a little bit too much energy. But I was wanting to get down. The day was over, but the day was over for me, but the day was not over for the wind. And thermal energy was still popping. It was literally 6:30 at night, bumping 7 o'clock, and the sun was almost completely set. And as I'm coming in, I I popped out and of a wing over, and then when I went back, um, not I wish I had a little wing. When I came back out, I felt like I went weightless for a second, and this is a bad place to be. When your forward speed's jacked up, and you haven't worked your wing over. Um, I need a little toy paraglider. I'm gonna have to make something. But yeah, anyways, it went lifeless for a second, and could have gone parachutal. I checked the surge, fixed it, and went and landed. But it had something to do with the energy management. And when I got to the top of my lift, the wind was just really strong, lifting me up and pulling me away from where I wanted to be. And then it kind of dropped out. And so it wanted to just, and yeah, so for just a second, it felt like it was a free fall, just kind of, weird when you're not inducing it. And I mean, obviously I was inducing it, but the wind had kind of just threw me. You could launch that day. You could bring your glider up and hold it, and then you could no step launch. So you could bring your wing up, and then you would just float. And then if you had some good energy, would just maybe 100 feet in one shot, and you weren't really even penetrating. It's really fun when you're in control, but the moment that you're not, my word, it is terrifying. 6,500 feet or 7,000 feet above Palomar Mountain, and your glider now becomes this thing that's trying to kill you. It changes your perspective, and if you're not really passionate about the sport, it'll scare you out of the sport. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the about that crash. This I don't know if he had a something wrong with his heart, or if it was a stroke or whatever it was. I think he mentioned something, but it brought me to this topic. It's a good idea, because this sport demands some you got to be somewhat healthy to be able to handle this. So I encourage you to be considering your health. And I'm the very last person to be preaching anybody about being healthy, because the moment that I got a paraglider, I stopped working out, stopped going to the gym, stopped running, anything. And my justification is that, well, when I land out, I have to carry my 50-pound bag with my paraglider on the back. But I'll tell you this, being in shape, I'm so grateful that when I was in that face down spiral, that my heart was healthy, because your blood will drain out and you will, or drain down, and you will go unconscious. And that might have been okay because you'll just go on glide and your glider will fix itself, and then you'll wake up and it'll be fixed. But the some people are not as fortunate, and depending on if you're flying a spicy little 18-meter, whatever, there's a good chance that it's going to lock into a spiral and stay locked in. Go look at your ratings for spirals. There's certain categories, certain levels. If you look at the rating system A, B, C, D, there are certain gliders that you're like, wait a second, this is not a 2-liner, this is a 3-liner, but it failed in spiral recovery. So if basically when they do the testing, if your glider doesn't come out of the spiral by itself, then it will get a failing grade on that, and that will put it into another category. So it's interesting to go and look at the research of your glider, whatever glider that you're buying. They put those findings out, and we have these professionals that are testing the gliders somewhere in Europe, and they write all this stuff down for you. It's really worth looking at the reports and checking them out.
You'll find the smaller the glider, the more turbulent, when something does happen, will occur. I mean, you get a collapse, you got a big one, you know?
Yep. Mom's trolling me in the chat right now. So, heart health. I want to mention something also. Todd Scandrett went in today, I believe, for a heart surgery. And so please pray for him for speedy recovery if you're into that kind of thing. He is the founder and the main guy in charge for Resurgence PPG. Since I'm mentioning that, I do want to mention that he is teamed up with Aviator Alliance, and they are giving away, or they're raffling off a Moster 185, your choice, or a Atom 80. And I believe this is a full paramotor, or maybe it is just a motor, I'm not sure, but you can go and find out by going to the website resurgenceppg.com, and they're going to be doing that raffle, I believe, at the Bad Apples. The other announcement about Bad Apples is that they're asking that you bring a generator if you have an extra one. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but if you've got the option to bring a generator or not bring a generator, it doesn't really matter. Bring that just in case for whatever reason. So I think we're going to probably send, I don't know if those guys have any internet out there, but I think there's some guys out there already.
Yeah, I'm sending an invite, but we should probably do the
spin the wheel.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Oh, okay. No more names in the chat. I know this is a little delayed, so while I get this organized, let's everybody know. You've been forewarned. No more names from the chat.
No more names.
Are you ready, Robert?
Yeah. So we're gonna give away another one of these retractable keychains, and
phone lanyard.
This is a gift. Yeah, phone lanyard. Thank you. This is Gerald Kalapos donated these to the show, so I really appreciate that, Gerald. Thanks for contributing to the show in that way. You can also contribute to the show by supporting the show on Patreon or PayPal, and there's a whole group of people that have been doing it for a long time and supporting the show and keeping the show going, so I can pay for all this stuff. Every month I have to pay for the live streaming service, and I've got to pay for all these little deals for the website and blah 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 blah. But anyways, you support the show, you keep the show going, so I really appreciate that. Go ahead and spin the wheel and let it rip. So the spin of this wheel, by the way, is brought to you by Calamity Kite Clinic. you want to check out their website, calamityKiteClinic.com. You want to learn how to ground handle much better than you were before, you can sign up. And if you're going to, I believe if you're going to Bad Apples, you can meet Sean there, and I'm sure he'll be there to help you get your ground handle game going. Also, the show is brought to you by Nebraska PPG. Josh Bowden, he runs the school in Nebraska. If you're interested in getting some top-notch training, you can sign up with Josh and his team today. There is a link in the description. Oh, it might be a blank winner.
If it's a blank winner, it'll be a respin.
Oh my gosh. How can it
There's
be
Gringo or Wolf?
Gringo, Wolf, or myself?
Come on.
Or Ripman? How in the world?
This is rigged.
Yeah, that is.
Congratulations, Robert Michaels. You have won a phone tether.
I already have
from
one,
the
so you
show
have to spin it again.
Paraglidingtalk.com.
Spin it again.
Spin it again. All right.
Yeah,
here we go.
Again. Jeez. I already have one. You know what I mean?
Will Fly donated $4.99. Awesome. Resurgence PPG rocks.
Really?
Heck yeah.
Where did you see that?
It's in the chat, but you got it on
Oh,
screen. So I just didn't want it to
Thank
pass.
you.
And then now Shane Wyman, $5. What Will Fly said. I like it.
oh, nice. Thank you for calling those out. I didn't even see it. What Will Fly said.
It's gonna be.
Kevin Could Fly said, am I the only one who makes dinner for the family, or do you just choke down the wife's cooking? We eat after the show, Kevin. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, it's Rick Wetzel. Still going.
Could be. I know. Oh, Rick Wetzel. Congratulations, Rick Wetzel.
Rick Wetzel, winner, chicken dinner. Please reach out to me on the website, paraglidingtalk.com/contact, and just get me your address, and I'll send this over to you right away. Hot Buttered Steve Productions. Okay. He said, Roberto, I thought this was an open topic show. I was hoping we could talk about solo synchronized swimming. We absolutely can, because tonight this is your show. We absolutely can.
Let's
Thank you.
put him on. No.
Thank you, Steve.
What's up, fellas?
Steve has the best comments. Rip Man, what's up, man? How you doing?
Getting ready for the big flying in a couple days.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you're just sitting at home right now. I thought you were at the fly-in.
No, it doesn't start till next week.
Next week.
Oh my gosh.
Thursday next week.
That's right.
We're gonna,
David, too.
we're gonna do the show live Thursday, so I want you to have us on.
Okay.
I'll hunt down Ripa, and we'll both moderate there while we're there. How's that?
David's bringing a TV screen, so we're gonna have it so everybody can see it behind us, and we'll be the ones live on the show.
Nice.
Hey, Robert, I don't know if you remember, when I was on the show, I had said that I'm taking my dog, and my wife didn't want me to take my dog. And my wife had said, if I take Ruby, she's getting herself a new puppy. And,
no. She did it.
Against my will.
Oh my God.
Is that Diamond?
We don't know. What's the name? We don't have a name yet.
Oh, she's
I
so
think
cute.
I think we're gonna name it Robert. Hello. Oh,
That's a good name.
Roberta.
It's a girl?
Roberta. I like that. That's good, Anthony. Take this thing. I don't want it.
No, we can call her Birdie.
Birdie. That's cute.
Birdie. Wow. So that probably didn't go over very well. Did you guys fight?
We always fight.
Hey, Robert, change the view to gallery.
I told the people at the church, I'm preaching on Sunday, and I told the people, I said, me and my wife, we're good at fighting. We got, we're celebrating our 20-year anniversary this year.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
20, yeah. We're
some of the
professional
punishment
fighters.
is poop patrol. Poop patrol.
Yeah, that dog's gonna
You gotta
crap on your
clean
carpet.
up, and that's a lot of poop. So somebody's got to do it.
Is she yelling back there?
Probably, yeah. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have had this on
He's
speaker.
like, hold on, I'm gonna have to I gotta yell real
He
quick.
stopped this. He stopped the video, but he forgot to block the to mute.
Oh no! Here, I was gonna show. God, I hate doing screen share. Oh, here we go. So this is what you were talking about. On if you go to Resurgence, is it doing it?
No,
Stop broadcast. Okay, is it working? There we go. You see that?
there we
Yeah.
go.
All right. So this is on the Resurgence website.
There you go.
So Todd set this up the other day, so that if you click on this black square here in the middle, it should take you to this form here that you can fill out.
Oh,
It's
there you go.
$100 for an entry. You can enter as many times as you want, your name, your phone number, all that good stuff. And this is the only way you can do a credit card. And this way here, if you don't go to the fly-in, you can still be entered in to win this paramotor. So this is a brand new paramotor that we're on the air. Sorry.
We're doing it live.
We're going live. So this is a brand new paramotor. It has not been released to the public yet. That will be released on Wednesday. It will be with a Viterazzi Moster 185 or Atom 80, your choice. And if you're a winner and you're not at the fly-in and you're in the continental US, there will be no shipping for you. Meaning,
No charge.
shipping will be paid. No charge for shipping. So we want to get a lot of people to do this. $100 for a chance to win a paramotor, and 100% of the proceeds go to Resurgence PPG.
This is exclusive information, and now the people know. Like, we released it on here first.
If you'd like to think that, and that it wasn't released yesterday on Facebook.
That is
we can go
how
with that.
amazing. That is how amazing paraglidingtalk.com is.
Listen, I'm even going to go for one of these raffles.
Oh, I know you are, Rip.
Oh, that's a big amount of money.
That's a big amount of money.
Yeah.
I honestly, that's pretty darn good odds, man.
Well, if you
Yeah.
win, it's phenomenal.
Dean, are you kidding me?
I mean, I told John earlier today I would have thrown in a couple $100, but I kind of would look fixed if I win. So I'm taking myself out of the drawing for that reason.
Plus, you can't afford it now because you got to buy dog food and
That's true,
puppy
too.
pads.
Yeah.
Puppy food. Yeah.
I can hear that puppy whining.
I know.
He
I'm gonna
wants
get to be fun.
something.
Now that's Ruby in the background. Okay, this is the better dog. This is Ruby. So mommy's spoiling her with toys now. So she's going to the fly in this one.
What kind of filter you got going on there, David? It looks like the NFL, watching an NFL.
Background. It's a blurred background.
It's
And
the
they
blur
interview-
background.
You got
Yeah.
the line commentators that,
We can talk about the backgrounds because this is an open topic night.
That's right. Synchronized swimming.
I like that was a funny one.
That's a
it's
well
very
played.
you to let Rip on paragliding talk tonight. Let him on.
Wow.
So you are right, Robert. There are people there already. It's it's going to be a really big fly-in. There's going to be a lot of people there.
What's the
But-
weather looking like?
Perfect.
Oh, that's good.
Freaking perfect.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good news.
Excited.
Yeah, because people are
We're going
taking
to pack them in like sardines.
days off, and some people are taking weeks off. Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you guys, so many flying,
Rip.
man.
Rip, I don't know how he does it, man. This guy.
The East Coast has so many fly-ins, but they're so much closer to get to each one. Out here,
Well, you know what, Gringo? The reason why they have these big fly-ins over there on the East Coast because there's no mountains,
yeah.
which is why you should be free flying.
Hey, Robert, I just got
Yeah.
a text message from Kelby Cox. He said, just
Yeah.
wanted to tell you that Todd is good, but he's sore. So Todd's done. So I think he was
Awesome.
just having, it wasn't like open heart surgery. He was getting his batteries replaced and all that good stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great news.
So he's hoping
Thanks,
to be at
Kelby.
the fly-in. He better be at the fly-in. So he wasn't able to make it last year. And so he's good. And I think John said he did too, but I got a call this morning from James and he's in really good spirits. He went home from the hospital today. He was actually we had to stop our call because he was getting physical therapy in a few moments. And he plans to be flying in a couple of weeks. And I'm hoping he can make it down there if he's not too sore to the flying. Because I just said, James, you're just going to get showered with lots of love, buddy. So best to him, best to Todd.
That's cool. We've got a couple questions. Matthew Pesci asked a question. He said, question for the group, are there too many low flight time instructors? He said, I know several that have been in the sport. I'm assuming he's going to say something that low time. I'm not sure exactly. I think I know what you're asking. There is definitely a lot of instructors that, in my opinion, are not necessarily ready to be instructors themselves, but are under an instructor who is. And I think that happens a lot. If you wanted to become an excellent instructor, that would be a great way to become an excellent instructor, to be under an excellent instructor. But the issue is that that person gives this imagery that it's okay for somebody who's a low time air pilot, airtime pilot, to become an instructor themselves just alone. So do your homework, research who you're going to spend time with getting instruction from, and ask the community. I have a friend of mine that is gonna, him and his son are both gonna get into the sport. And right away he said, I already found this guy is recommending this gear. He has it ready. He wants to sell it to me. He wants to instruct me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to bust him out, but he said, this is what I'm planning on doing. I said, well, pump the brakes. I want to just make sure, because I'd never heard of the guy. I said, let's do some research. So I sent my feelers out in that state, figured out who it was. And turns out the guy is a low time air pilot, works a full-time job. Just every once in a while will do some training, and it's for some extra money. It's not his thing. All kinds of warning bells went off when I found out those pieces of information, and I said my impression right out of the gate is bad. So I've found more information on him. Said, I'm going to redirect you. You should consider reaching out to this guy or this guy. And anyways, these are instructors that have paid the price. They're affiliated with a USPPA. They have some kind of formal training where they sign documentation to prove that they passed the written tests and they're qualified and all those things. So anyways, the idea that you can just get a paramotor and become an instructor, can you do it? Yes, this is America. You can do that. Can you learn from your friends? Absolutely, you can learn from your friends, and you should be learning from your friends even after you went through training. But you should not, in my opinion, go self-teach, try to get as much information you can for free and throw yourself into the air. It's a bad idea. So is that worse than going under a low time instructor? Probably. Self-teaching than going under a cheap low airtime instructor, or going for full on like someone who's got a great reputation, great reviews. If you can do it, go for the gusto, save the money up. You can do a lot of stuff on the ground before you ever launch, and that will expedite your training. If you've mastered ground handling before you even showed up to a field for training, that's going to make your training so much better and so much more enjoyable. I feel like when I got my P2 rating, I spent the first half of the day helping other people kite because I had already burned through 30 hours of kiting. And so we should probably do a whole show on choosing a correct school and the warning signs. And it's like there should be a Tinder app for learning You know,
Swipe
they'll,
left, swipe
they'll
right.
match you with a right instructor. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be things you're not going to click with every instructor. My instructor would yell at me, but I needed that because I didn't listen.
He yells a
Um,
lot.
He yells a lot.
He
Yeah.
yells a lot.
Yeah.
Just remember this and take it from me. If someone says they're going to give you free training, you're going to get what you pay for.
You're going to get what you pay for.
Yep.
Free means
Free training in
from
all 50
instruction.
states. Yep.
Free from instruction. Yep. But no doubt in my mind, you can learn a ton from people on this show, especially the people that have the blue wrench next to their name. These guys have done something magnificent. And David, how come you don't have one?
I didn't pay my dues, I guess.
Oh,
Because he's
sorry.
not a tool.
I don't know.
I'm not a tool.
Wrench.
Very important.
David, I'd be willing to give you my wrench if it helps.
I don't want anything from you. Go away.
Wow.
I'm
He
kidding.
wasn't going to let you come on the show and then don't give him
Okay.
the wrench.
I
Don't
can
do
take it. I can
Don't do
take
it,
it.
Rip.
He allowed him so he could publicly shame him.
It's okay.
I thought you guys were at the flying. I was like, oh, they're not going to come on. They're having a blast right now. They're going to be bored to death.
Yeah, we're gonna have so
talking.
much fun. Me and Ripa are gonna have the best time.
You're not even going to fly. You're going to be on the
We're
ground
gonna-
the whole
we're
time,
probably-
running around.
We're probably gonna fly before the masses,
Stop.
like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll
Oh, you're
fly.
going to go early before everybody gets there. Okay.
Yes. Well,
That's smart.
before there's
Get
people
all the-
there already. What
How many people's there right now?
do you think, John?
I don't know. I really don't know. There's a few people there for sure. And
Maybe a
each
dozen?
each day there'll be more and more.
However,
yeah.
you weren't encouraged to be there earlier than
Well, him
said date.
him and I are going to help with the
Just
setup.
saying.
So
Then save me a spot with electricity and water, please.
Oh yeah, you're on my
course.
list of about 200 people that have asked for
Yeah.
that. I'll do
Yes,
that.
please. You know.
What's the deal with the generators? Why are we having to bring?
So, you
extra
know, they
generators?
have about 80 or so, maybe a little more this year, hookups. And, you know, when you got over 300 plus pilots, some are saying 400 are going to be there. You're going to need your own generator, your own power. So you should bring it anyway, you know?
What are you
You're gonna
guys
need
trying
more-
to do over there? It's like
gonna need
Burning
more
Man
fuel,
with
too.
paramotors.
I don't know what to say. There was so many people there last year. I just be prepared. That's all. And it's
It'd be like
going to be a
city.
great time. It doesn't matter where
But-
you end up. It'll be great.
We've got 4 manufacturers coming in from across the pond,
Wow.
and it's gonna be a huge event. We're like I told John, I'm hoping this raffle, especially online, is gonna raise a lot of money. I'm really hoping
Oh,
that
that'd
we
be
can
awesome.
come up with about $20,000 for Resurgence BBG. That would be amazing. I mean, that's an audacious goal, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Let me see- let me see
Travis-
some math.
Travis DuPont said, I thought Tuesday was the earliest, but I guess not.
Well,
Yeah.
we've asked
That's-
everybody not to show up until Thursday, at least until Thursday, because we need time to set up.
Yeah.
We need time to set up. We don't want to, I don't want to be the jerk that says, hey, look, we need to move your trailer over a few feet because we're trying to squeeze as many campers and trailers and tents in here as possible. I was saying earlier to John, I don't want to see people setting up canopies all over the place, taking up a ton of real estate, when really,
With
you should have enough room to open your door and the next trailer is there, because we're going to be packing them in. Be quiet, Ruby.
It's a literal city. 400 people are showing up. That's 400 pilots.
with all
How
those
many
with all
people
those
is that?
generators going to need a lot more fuel too. So Shane Weinman asked, how much
Yeah, I was
fuel
gonna get
should
to
a
that.
first timer bring to a fly-in? Obviously, I'd bring a lot extra because you may be able to sell it at a higher price. Whatever
Wow.
you got extra.
Town's
Thanks.
close. Town's close enough if you need anything.
But nobody wants to go to town when
People
have
go.
a few
People
and-
go during the
knock it off
day.
your
Sometimes
back.
you just want to get away, go see the
I'm
local.
hooked into a trailer
attractions.
and I'm lazy.
How
Well,
far away is a gas station? That's
Not
a
far.
valid question. Okay, so
5 to 7 miles.
bring yourself a couple of 5-gallon jugs, and I would say if you have to go refill, you just go refill.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about electric than I am with water because I had jugs for water. I have a very little electric, but you know, it's nice to have a fan running when it's 90 degrees.
That's only for you though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I need a fan. You know,
Can't
I'm
share.
used to this. You know, I'm going to be in a trailer. It's even smaller than this. You know.
No
I think
AC in a padded room.
we're gonna learn a lot from this year. I think next year will be even bigger. But I think I've already proposed the idea that we make this a week long and not just 4 days long, because people are coming anyways. We might as well do that. And then another idea. Well, I'm thinking of some other ideas of how we can make the electric availability a little bit more fair for people next year as well. But we'll see. We'll see. The thing that I think everybody's got to keep in mind: there's very few places that have electric. So everybody should be used to bringing a generator already and not be freaking out if they don't get electric.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Great question, Shane. One of the things that I think I mentioned, we were going to talk a little bit about James Sutherland had an accident. Just so you guys know, he is doing much better. Originally, the report said he was listed in critical condition. He did break a femur, and they monitor him overnight, and I think he was in there for about 48 hours. But they did let him out. Let me just there was I think my mom sent me some details on that. Here's what he said happened, and James, if you're watching, by the way, I'm really glad you're okay and still among the living. He said, I did a deep turn on the way back up, ballooning out of it. Something popped, and I went parachutal from 300 feet and never threw my reserve. So, all kinds of reports.
I think he said he's going to inspect his gear and try to figure out what it was. It sounds like what could have happened was his riser could have just let loose, you know. It could have slipped out, and that one he made a loud sound, and the pop could have been the wing exploding open, you know.
Yeah.
And then parachutal could have happened because one side was, you know, way out, and the other side wherever it was. I don't know. I'm speculating, but
Yeah,
you know, for that to happen, James, you know, he flies enough to know what's going on, and
yep.
for something like that to happen, I don't think it was a catastrophic failure like a carabiner or, you know, or lines ripping or the glider ripping. I think, you know, maybe the pop was the riser just letting out really hard.
Did you just correct your
Yeah, I
New York
sounded like
accent?
I sound like really slang.
He corrected his accent.
I actually can hear it.
That's awesome.
I didn't know people from New York could fix that. You
Well,
just literally fixed it.
believe me, I heard it and I knew I had to fix it.
Like actors, you know, they got that British accent, and then you know they act in American accents all the time, and then you hear them on a talk show or something, and they're talking like this, you know, Telly.
Yeah, that's
Cheerio.
true. That weirds me out when somebody's like, "Hey, can you imitate someone from the United States?" And they're like,
Why,
"Okay, he sounds normal." Yeah, we're a bunch of special people in here. Yeah. So TFR will be posted for the event. Yes, pretty sure. Bring a radio with you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do on this. This show wasn't supposed to be all about the bad apples flying, but it's kind of happening. It's fine.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. We don't need to talk about that again.
Yeah, but bring a radio. It's a good idea. And I'm not talking about a radio for your camp. Everyone doesn't need to hear what you're listening to. Okay. Unless it's really good, then it's fine. If you get approval from everyone, you know what I mean? You don't need to be the DJ for the whole event. It's not Burning Man. Can you bring your paramotor to Burning Man? I heard some guys have done it, but they had to do it like kind of down and dirty. You're not in any kind of airspace, but they create their own airspace.
I heard they park outside and they fly in.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I
think that's more of a not part of that event or not part of that thing. They just kind of ghost in the background somewhere, and then you know.
Yeah.
But I think that would fall under an FAR issue if that
Flying
were
over
the
people.
case. It
Yeah,
would be
but if you
flying over a congested amount of people. It's,
But if you flew around the congested area, you'd be okay. Maybe you're taking pictures.
Even then, I think that's where the separation is because they don't want to have to deal with FAA or the FAA have to deal with
Oh no,
paramotors or to
they
deal with
file
them.
with the FAA some kind of thing. Like this is their thing is crazy. Their
Well, I mean, if it's
their operation
organized
is
and
crazy, yeah.
you know,
But
if
the
it's
reason why is because people flying with helicopters land and get dropped off at the event. They have an airstrip where airplanes come in and land, so they kind of have to. But I'm just interested to know because I have heard of some people that have flown paramotors at the Burning Man, and I just wonder how.
I'm sure there have been people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're supposed to be doing that, but to each their own. Everybody does their own thing,
Hot Buttered Steve plays piano. I didn't know that. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm learning piano.
He's actually really good.
I'm checking.
I've listened to him play online.
Sean, you play piano too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just started learning.
There's a question in the chat for Sean, actually, and it says, Friday night at the jam session, will you be playing or singing Sweet Child of Mine?
You never know.
Does he have priors for that? I want to hear.
Depends how
He
low
does.
he gets.
I have him recorded singing Sweet Child of Mine at Palm Bay a couple of years ago.
Karaoke at a fly-in?
I guess David
No,
was
jam
kinda,
session,
like,
not
holy crap.
karaoke.
Well, I gotta
Jam
get this. I
session.
gotta TikTok
Jam
this.
session.
Maybe
Can't
this will
fly
make
at
me some
night.
money.
Yeah. Shouldn't fly at night.
Got
Bad
it.
Won't be
idea.
flying at night.
There'll be none of that.
There'll be none of that.
Yeah.
Nope.
So you've got some pretty cool stuff coming besides just going to a fly-in. So you got this raffle that's happening. There's going to be some other contests and things.
It's going to be. There's
who
going to
do
be
they
an
talk
auction.
to? Yeah.
There's
What?
going to be. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is there going to be a paper like printed off with all the details, like what do they call those? Like a.
Yeah, there's I've actually posted all over Facebook, and there's going to be stuff at the fly-in that you can take a picture of that shows all the seminars that are coming up. So there's 6 different seminars.
That's cool.
There's at Saturday night we're doing the raffle, but that's preceded by an auction to raise money for Resurgence PPG. We've got some surprise announcements that we'll have on Saturday night as well. And then we'll also list off the total amount raised and the total number of pilots on Saturday night as well. So we'll have that total at that point. There's also going to be Rob Cato's bringing his virtual reality paramotor simulator, and he's got a new speed course. So whoever has the best time is going to win a prize for that. We're also going to be doing a kiting war. Sean is favorite to win.
They say Sean can't participate unless he uses a regular glider.
What are you talking about? I use a regular glider.
Yeah, that thing's lightweight fabric. It's like my Susie.
No, it is not.
Let me fly it. I'll tell you if it's lightweight or not.
Okay.
I almost beat Jeff going with my mini Susie because it was such a lightweight fabric. That thing wouldn't come down no matter what.
Yeah.
Him and I battled for like an hour, and when we both called it a tie.
So yeah, there's going to be a ton of stuff. Of course, we'll have our central location at the pavilion where everybody gets there and registers and gets their wristbands and their wristbands that they put on their trailer to mark that they've paid for their camping and all that. It's going to be a heck of a time. It's going to be memorable. He's a memorable guy, that John Ripa. Yeah.
Great, man.
All right,
That's
Robert,
cool.
you got anything else?
As long as there's no more questions, we're going to go to the after show.
You got some sponsors to talk about or anything?
I do.
I look forward to seeing everybody next week. Come on up, say hello. I got stickers, got t-shirts. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's been a while, and everybody be safe. And yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I'll got to mention just a couple sponsors. Thank you, Gringo. MaxAcro.com. If you're thinking, you know what, I need to get some more training, SIV course type stuff, MaxAcro.com is the website, and sign up with them. They've got incredible stuff lined up. They've got some trips to Turkey. They got a trip to Spain, I believe. It's going to be a pretty awesome year for them. And then you can even sign up for next year. The classes are filling up quickly, so go check those out if you're considering it and you're looking to get some, you can put some time aside for SIV. That's the best place, in my opinion. I did a SIV with Max. So, also, the show is brought to you by iFly Indiana Powered Paragliding. If you're interested in flying paramotors, no better place to get the proper training than iFlyIndiana.com. Kevin and his team will get your feet off the ground. Also, the show is brought to you by Lone Star Paramotor. If you're in the Lone Star state of Texas, you can reach out to Ron Turan and his team. You can get world-class training. LoneStarParamotor.com is the website. That's LoneStarParamotor.com. Also, the show is brought to you by Resurgence PPG. We talked about that. When you do support Resurgence PPG, you're supporting our men and women of uniform, and especially for those guys that have been, maybe they got PTSD from going to put their life on the line, so that you can have the freedom that you have. Support Resurgence PPG by going to the website, resurgencepppg.com. That's it for tonight, folks. If you want to join the after show, you can do that by going to putting your email in the chat, or I guess you can, just put your, if you've already given me your email, then just say, invite me to the after show, and we're gonna hang out for a little bit. I got a few minutes I can hang out with everybody. So if I don't see you on there, I'll see you in there. Thanks for watching. Rip,
Good night,
thanks for coming
everybody.
on. Yeah, David, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Anthony, Peregringo, and also Sean, appreciate you guys. And I will see you on the next one. So have a good night.